Good day, Professor. My name is Tindutran, and I'm honored to present on behalf of Group 6. Joining me today is my colleagues, Ivan and Adrian. So we'll be diving into a comprehensive B2B industry analysis of CAE Incorporated, a true titan in the world of flight simulation and aviation training. Our goal today is show how CAE is navigating a massive industry shift to remain a premier partner for global aviation safety. So before we begin our formal analysis, we would like to start with the land knowledge. We acknowledge the sacred land on which we operate, which been the size of human activities for over 15,000 years. We pay our respect to the traditional custodian of this land and acknowledge their enduring connection to the community and the environment. It is privileged to learn and cooperate with this historic territory. Now let's look at the core of our subject. CAE Incorporated is Canadian high-tech icon headquartered in Montreal. Is in the B2B landscape. They occupy a unique niche. They aren't just selling equipment; they are selling infrastructure of safety. CAE operate in three critical sector: commercial aviation, defense, and security, and healthcare as well. What truly set them apart from smaller competitor is the intergate ecosystem. They provide the hardware, the simulator, but they also provide the software, the specialized circ circumlum, circ sorry, curriculum, and the digital platform used by airline worldwide. Currently, they have a massive global footprint with over 200 training sites in more than 40 countries. This allowed them to act as a local partner to global giants like Emirates, Delta, and even the various nation defense department, ensuring that technical standards are consistent across the every continental. So we get into Article 1, Q3 2026 financial result. Our first key insight come from February of 2026 regarding the CIE third quarter financial result. There was a pivotal moment for the company's strategic direction. CIE reported a significant 568 million restructuring charge. From an outside perspective, that might look like a loss, but from a B2B strategy lens, it's a masterclass in value preservation. CAE is intentionally divesting from non-core access to focus entirely on their highest margin business, flight training, and defense technology. They are moving away from just being the hardware manufacturer toward a software as a service, also known as SaaS model. By streamlining their operation now, they are preparing for a future where digital twins and cloud-based training are primary uh, revenue drivers. This pivot ensure that they remain the most efficient and technological advice partner for airlines that are increasing looking to outsource their complex training needs. Next, we have our second article, which is the 1.5 million talent forecast. So our second major insight is in 2025, 2034 aviation talent forecast. This report is essentially the roadmap for CAE growth over the decade. The industry data predict strategizing requirement for 1.5 million new aviation professional by 2034. This include approximately 30 300,000 new pilot, over 400,000 maintained technician. For CAE, this present a massive B2B opportunities as a global fleet expands. Airlines are facing training bottleneck. CAE is positioning itself as a primary solution to this crisis. They are moving beyond the traditional one-size-fits-all classroom and adopting to data driving training by using AI to track every movement a pilot make in the simulator. They can also provide airline with precise analysis on the pilot red line. This level of insight is something that standard flight school cannot provide. Makes CAE an indispensable partner to B2B supply chain. So next we have article number 3, also is our last article, immersive tech trend. We analyze the latest trend in pilot training for 2025 and 2026. We are currently witnessing a technological revolution in how pilots learn. There is a massive shift toward immersive technology, specifically mixed reality and virtual reality. B2B customer are the airline and the defense force are demanding these solution because they are cost effective and high mobile. CIE is leading this trend by integrating these digital tool into their training center, allowing pilots to practice emergency procedure in a digital pace before they ever use the expensive full flight simulator. This tech-first approach creates a massive barrier to entry for competitor. If you are investigating AI and VR today, you won't be in aviation training business tomorrow. CAE's early adoption to this trend is exactly why they remain right they remain their dominant market share. So next is in summaries of CIA in a company in the middle of the high performance transformation, a perfect align to this massive global demand for aviation talents. To dive in how CIA managed to its specific B2B relationship and competitive force they face, I will hand the floor over to my colleague, Ivan, to take over the presentation.
Thanks, Tian. So overall, to summarize, CAE operates in a strong and growing industry driven by increasing air travel, pilot shortages, and rising defense spending. The company has built a strong position through its technology, global presence, and reputation for safety and reliability. While there are some challenges such as high costs and competition, CAE is well positioned for long-term growth if it continues to invest in its innovation and in its expansion. So for the demand and market trends, demand for simulation and training has increased significantly in recent years, and as air travel continues to grow, airlines need more trained pilots and staff. Simulation is becoming more popular because it reduces costs, improves safety, and allows for more efficient training. There are also key trends that are shaping the industry. Digital transformation and artificial intelligence are improving training accuracy and personalization. Virtual reality is becoming more common in both aviation and defense sectors. In addition, increased global defense spending has created new opportunities for military training contracts. So for the B2B customer analysis, since CAE operates in a B2B market, its customers and organizations such as airlines, governments, and its customers are organizations such as airlines, governments, and defense agencies. These customers make complex purchasing decisions that involve multiple stakeholders and long-term contracts. They prioritize factors such as safety, reliability, and regulatory compliance. One key benefit of simulation for these customers is cost reduction, since it avoids the need for real aircraft training. CAE's global network and strong reputation give it an advantage in meeting these customer needs. So, to give an analysis a bit about the competitors, CAE operates in a competitive market with major players like L3 Harris and Boeing. Competitive competition is intense because there are only a few large firms and contracts are very valuable. Companies compete based on technology, simulator realism, global reach, and long-term service agreements. The threat of new entrants is low because of the high costs and technical requirements that are needed to enter the industry. Once companies secure contracts, it's also difficult for competitors to take those clients due to the high switching costs. Now, there's some sources of competitive advantage. CA has strong competitive advantages. Its brand reputation is very strong, especially in terms of safety and reliability. It also invests heavily in advanced technology like artificial intelligence and virtual reality, which improves its training quality. In addition, its global network of training centers allows it to serve customers better worldwide. Finally, its ability to offer customized solutions creates high switching costs, making it difficult for clients to move to competitors. Uh, CA's marketing strategy focuses on building long-term relationships with large institutional clients. Its targeted market includes airlines, defense organizations, government agencies, and training institutions. The company positions itself as a premium provider for known innovation and reliability. Looking at the marketing mix, its products are highly specialized and often customized. Pricing is value-based, reflecting advanced technology and long-term cost savings. Promotion is relationship-driven, relying on reputation and industry presence rather than traditional advertising. Distribution is global, supported by a network of training centers. Overall, this strategy is well aligned with customer needs and industry conditions. I'm going to pass this now on to Adrian for market segmentation.
Our market segmentation, CAE segments the market based on industry, geography, and customer needs, not demographics. Our geographic focus is on Asia and the Middle East, with high growth markets for expansion, and North America and Europe, where the mature markets are for long-term contracts. Our industry segmentation we look at is aviation, defense, and healthcare, which allows CAE to offer customized training solutions, and customization increases customer dependence and switching costs. Looking at our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. To begin with our strengths, we have strong global brand and reputation for safety, which builds trust with major clients like airlines and governments. We have advanced technology like AR and VR and simulation systems. This helps deliver more realistic and efficient training experiences. We have global network of training centers to provide accessibility and convenience for international clients and high switching costs for strong client retention. Long-term contracts and integration make customers less likely to leave. Our weaknesses, we have high R&D, production, and operating costs. Significant investment is required to maintain the technological leadership we have. Dependence on aviation sector performance is a big one as well. A slowdown in air travel can directly affect our demand. Debt levels will also limit our flexibility, with high debt restricting future investment opportunities. Looking at the opportunities, rising global defense spending, because governments are increasing investment in military training. Large pilot and technician shortage creates a strong long-term demand for training services. Growth in emerging markets like Asia and the Middle East, like we spoke about, expanding airlines require more training capacity as well. Increasing demand for simulation-based training, where companies prefer safer and more cost-efficient training methods. And lastly, the threats that we look at, we have strong competition in Boeing and L3 Harris. These competitors have similar capabilities and resources. Inflation and rising input costs, because higher input costs can reduce profit margins. The pressures in supply chain, like tech components, lead to delays and shortages, which can impact our production. Overall, we have a strong competitive position, and CAE is well established but must continue adapting. We must also continue adapting and innovating and investing to maintain our leadership. Next, I'll get into the flow chart. First, we have first, customer identifies the need, for example, pilot shortage. Then we have a request for proposal, which we refer to as RFP. Organizations can compare organizations can compare multiple providers before they select one. CAE develops customized solutions. Solutions are tailored based on client size, location, and requirements. Contract negotiation and agreement. Agreements are typically long-term and high value. Deployment. Simulators, software, and instructions. We at CAE will provide a full service training solution to get you ready. Training delivery using advanced simulation and data analytics. Data helps improve performance and training outcomes. Ongoing relationship management. Continuous support will help strengthen our partnerships. This will eventually lead to repeat contracts and long-term partnerships. Higher satisfaction results in ongoing business. And lastly, the key insight to this, value is created through service quality and long-term relationships. Relationships are more important than one-time transactions. High switching costs reinforce customer loyalty, and customers are incentivized to stay with CAE. Next, sustainability. In the environmental aspect, simulators reduce need for real aircraft training. This significantly lowers fuel consumption. Lower carbon emissions versus real aircraft. This helps reduce the environmental impact of aviation training. It also supports more sustainable aviation practices and aligns with industry-wide sustainable goals. From a social aspect, it creates high-skilled jobs globally, which contributes to economic development. It develops training programs for pilots and technicians, which helps address global workforce shortages. An increasing focus on pilot and mental health well-being, which improves safety and overall performance. Looking at governance, ethical and transparent business practices build trust with stakeholders. Transformation plans improve efficiency and accountability, which helps streamline operations and strengthen performance. Overall, sustainability is becoming a core part of our strategy, no longer optional, but expected by our stakeholders. It aligns with global standards and expectations, and it supports long-term business success. And finally, to get into our conclusion, CAE operates in a highly specialized and growing B2B industry supported by increasing global air travel, rising defense spending, and a significant shortage of skilled aviation professionals. Its strong competitive advantage comes from its advanced simulation technology, global presence, and long-term relationships with major clients, all of which create high switching costs and stable revenue. Moving forward, CAE should continue investing in innovation, especially in AI immersive training, while expanding into fast-growing regions like Asia and the Middle East. At the same time, strengthening sustainability efforts will be important for long-term success. Overall, CAE is well-positioned not only to compete in the industry, but to play a key role in the future of training and simulation. And that's our presentation.
Thanks for watching.